Hey everyone, my name is Peas, and this is post commentary for an off-stream run I did of Super Monkey Ball Jr.'s Advanced Extras. This is the Warpless done in 6 minutes and 59 seconds, which is 2 seconds slower. Oh, sorry, 2 seconds faster than the previous world record. So there's nothing really much with Super Monkey Ball Jr. other than this is the first handheld Super Monkey Ball game released for the Game Boy Advance in 2002, right around the same time as Super Monkey Ball 2 for the GameCube did. The big difference here, though, is that instead of a map, you basically hold the A button to essentially go faster. You can also press B to slow yourself down and have the character move a little bit slower. So you also might have noticed that the time actually started on selecting the monkey because for whatever reason you select the difficulty and then you select the monkey. So. Also, there's nothing really much to talk about in the first few stages of Advance, other than some of these stages are going to be very difficult. And sadly, in this run, I would have also gotten Advance World Record if I did not take a death in one of the later stages here. So we're past the first. Basically the jungle background, and we're coming up to a very stupid skip, in my honest opinion. So I line myself on the furthest corner, and I have to press up in order to get the most possible speed, and that right there, I finally got something called intro skip. Basically, the best way for me to explain it is once you complete a stage, you have a few frames to basically mash the A button, and because mashing is really hard, I like to mash both A and start. And if done, or if hit at the perfect frame, you basically skip almost a second of seeing the intro to the stage, because SMB Junior has a different way of loading stages compared to SMB 1 and SMB 2. Alright, so you may notice that I looked away from the goal. It doesn't really matter much on this stage, but there are some cycles where if you look away from the goal, because this game is on the Game Boy Advance, we got some 32-bit engines going on here, the game actually lags, on console at least. So if you look away from the goal on a moving platform, the sequence will move slightly faster, and it actually can matter for some stages. Alright, so we're going to be out of the Sky High split very shortly, and we're coming up to the last split of Advanced, basically. So unlike the original Monkey Ball game, there is actually 10 beginner stages, 20 advanced stages, 30 expert stages, and 5 master stages. You can fit all but so much on a Game Boy Advance cartridge. And so... Contrary to what you see on the bottom right corner, I'm actually using my GameCube controller as it feels better for me, but you can actually use whatever kind of controller you would like. You can use a GBA SP, original Game Boy, GameCube controller, whatever you feel like hooking up your GameCube with, and which is also to note that I'm playing this on through the Game Boy interface, as opposed to the Game Boy player, since the speedrunning function allows for a near lagless experience, which is really nice. Gives me an excuse to dig out my GameCube, hook up the Game Boy player, and stuff like that. So, past couple of stages, there were a couple of very important skips, and there's actually 2 skips on A13. There's a solid visual cue that I use to make sure that I was able to fall down relatively nicely and go into the goal just like that. So, A14, straightforward. Forgot to mention that some of these stages do have references to Super Monkey Ball 1's. Not going to go through, which in every stage, resembles. If you've played the games, you'll literally know what the inspiration is. So, the last few stages of base advanced, I do not like these stages at all personally. They're really difficult in terms of movement. The stage design also kind of doesn't help with the engine and the controls as well. So earlier I mentioned that I did take a death, and you're gonna be seeing that happen in the last few stages, unfortunately. Just a heads up. But in any case, there is actually a 4-second time save here, but because I was on a really good pace, The 2 seconds that I lost were because I was not able to get intro skip on a lot of the stages, and the last few times I got it in that split actually saved me from losing at least well over 3 seconds. And it kind of matters for a game like this, because if you take a death, you basically lose 10 seconds. And you have to watch the animation, yada yada yada. It's almost like Banana Blitz HD, even though this game came out years before. So here, I'm still trying to get used to understanding cycles and things like that. And I don't remember if I pressed the B button or not there. But all right, so we got intro skip here. I'm on a really good run. So I'm holding down the A button here, just trying to go around nicely. All that stuff looks clean. That happens. I honestly couldn't tell you how that happened, other than I guess I went too tight a little too early, and it kind of cost me. And this is one of those deaths where it tilts you in the mind. And believe me, in this session, I was very upset for quite a bit because of these silly deaths in this split. But thankfully, I was able to power through it and complete this level nicely. And we're coming up to one more very cringe stage, which is an inspiration of Polar. Oh, I guess it is Polar. And also, these stages don't have names, so I guess sometimes refer to them by their reference. So these 3 advanced extra stages are exclusive to Junior, or basically their original Junior stages, which are pretty nice. This one I had to take very safe because partially a mentality ordeal, but also it's very easy to make one little mistake on AX1 and lose a lot of time. So there, I guess I took a little goalpost, and here, this is one of the hardest stages of the game. So there is a skip that saves quite a bit of time, but really difficult to set up, and it's basically an IL strat. That's not really RTA viable. So you wait until about 54, and right there, I just popped off. Go straight into the goal just like that, and that is basically world record for the advanced extras in Super Monkey Ball Jr. Warpless. I do plan to go for at least a deathless run of base advanced. I mean, I got the extras like deathless, but I want to get the base stages advanced. Now, of course, I want to put this all into a all difficulties run, which is an actual category, but no one has ever done a run of it because this is probably the most difficult Super Monkey Ball game to speedrun that isn't Banana Blitz. So, but yeah, overall, this is again a very unique experience to the Monkey Ball franchise, and I'm really happy to finally get started on running a gem such as this, and I can't wait to see where this takes me. And I'm talking over playing the credits because I liked playing the credits in this game as a kid, and it's a whole vibe. I know I'm talking over the music, but it is what it is. So also the purpose of this post commentary is because I do I guess for categories like this, I prefer doing runs off stream. In the event that I want to submit this to like marathons or things like that, I can use this as opposed to going on stream and doing an actual run and just showing the streamer side of me, which isn't toxic, thankfully. So I think we're pretty close to the end of the credits here. I don't have the music playing because it's kind of distracting, but I'm just rambling. I like to ramble. But of course, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this awesome run and I guess decent commentary, to say the least. And hopefully I will see you all really soon when I finally get down to playing Expert Extras Warpless. And that's going to be pain in and of itself. So take care, everyone.